Someone left an interesting comment on my recent video where I talked about how I hate Black Ops 6 zombies. They decided to ask a question that really inspired me to give a detailed, intricate answer. What makes OG zombies so good? I assume this person wasn't around during the golden age of COD zombies, and COD in general, and if you're not from that time, it's much more difficult to understand why the old games are so revered and held in high regard, even to this day. It's like how people who weren't there and old enough to comprehend the impact and talent of Michael Jackson don't really know how big he actually was. People were passing out at the mere sight of him during his shows. So how do you think we felt during the World at War through Black Ops 3 days? So, since I myself have been playing since Kino der Toten was brand new, allow me to break it down for you. Look how unique and distinct this shit was. Zombies has had its own separate feel and identity compared to the campaign and multiplayer. It was for players who wanted a different, darker kind of Call of Duty experience, like how Undead Nightmare put an incredibly fun and creepy spin on the OG Red Dead Redemption. A vague but intriguing storyline, secret radios to piece the puzzle together, characters that oozed charisma, and still do, along with beautifully varied maps that all had their own separate aura and mystique to them. One map you'd be navigating the broken debris and fragile infrastructure of a hotel in Shanghai, the next you're exploring the remains of a couple century old mining town from the 1800s. And it's not just the environment of the maps that make the old games objectively better, it's also how the games look. The HUDs across the first 4 Treyarch zombie games have their own style, sometimes changing between maps back to back. They're all fitting for the zombies mode in general, as well as the individual maps they were in addition to not taking up too much space on the screen. Clean, simple, to the point. No sign up, no credit card, no bullshit. The points system was also completely fine the way it was for the first 4 games. 70 points to the neck, 100 to the head, 130 for a melee kill, you know, all that jazz. You could shoot the zombies 8 times in the leg on round 2 when the knife is no longer a one-hit kill. And if you got a max ammo, or dug up a Mauser if you're playing Origins, you can fire through a whole horde on round 4 or 5 to maximize your points. Obviously, Gobblegums changed the game completely in Black Ops 3, but entirely for the better. It diversifies the strategies you can run and makes tackling the main Easter eggs easier and efficient. No longer are you limited by only 4 perks, or having to unlock a golden perk bottle through a challenge, or do the Easter egg every time to get them all at once. You could distract zombies, slow them down, spawn power-ups galore, you name it. You can only carry one at a time to not become overpowered, and some of them can only be used a few times or instantly activate. Black Ops 3 also had the incredibly fun sliding movement option, making up for your piss-poor endurance. Even with stamina up, you'd have to constantly keep hitting the run button and jumping to cover any sort of distance relatively quickly. Even though the story has been spiraling out of control since World at War, it was still such a treat to discover that hidden radio in the corner of the spawn room, or decipher that cryptic writing on the ceiling of a cave, and of course, witnessing the grand reveal of the plot up to that point. The Earth gets blasted to smithereens, our beloved sane versions of our heroes free Samantha from Agartha, the paradox is quote-unquote resolved. It was incredible to be there for. Also, Primus, Ultimus, Victus, etc. all had their funny quirks and magnetic banter that never fails to get a chuckle out of me. Dempsey constantly breaking the 4th wall.
Hey Treyarch, can we get a new objective, please?
Nikolai babbling on about his wives and/or his vodka.
Let me guess. Power? A few more shots of vodka, then I'll go looking.
Takeo wanting to bring honor to the Emperor and his country.
I have no ammo. I have no honor.
And Richtofen being flat out insane.
You stuck in my throat.
I'm like a cat with a hairball.
Some of, if not the most memorable characters that I've ever had the pleasure of playing as, and nothing could possibly top them. Those personalities and the actors who voiced them got me through some of the toughest times in my life, and still do as of this video being posted, and they've even inspired me to pursue voice acting myself. I could too bring that same joy and comfort to people who play the games I star in, just like they did for me. Sure, World at War was buggy and glitchy, and the Blops trilogy probably has flaws in their zombies modes, which I'm struggling to think of right now. No game is perfect, but what makes the OG zombies so good is that it's everything that this new wave of COD zombies isn't. It's got replayability, memorability, and it's chock full of personality, down to the very last freak bag. The fact of the matter is, Warzone killed Call of Duty, Activision is becoming more money hungry by the year, and the Black Ops 6 meat riders up in my comments are in the wrong for telling me and people like me to stop whining or cry more, all because we have completely valid criticisms of the game mode we've been playing for almost 2 decades. I don't understand why it's incredibly difficult for people to accept that there can be others who don't share the same opinion as them, and I don't get why we're fully written off as terrible human beings for not liking the same things others like. It's unfair and unjust that we get scrutinized and judged just for feeling a certain way with zero room for compromise or a chance to see things in a different light. I still stand by what I said in my last video. Black Ops 6 Zombies sucks, and there's nothing anyone can say to change my mind. Now hop off my dick and go bitch to Mr. T Lexify for being the biggest grade A grifter and misinformation spewer that this community has ever known.